Now, as you know, the founder of and CEO of MyPillow is Mike James Lindell. He's a Minnesota guy. All right, started from nothing, 2004, 5 employees. I think they got about 2,000 employees now. Company's worth about $390 million, but it has gotten hurt recently because for the past few years, Mr. Lindell has been politically involved. He's a big Trump supporter, as everybody knows. And that has impacted MyPillow and Mr. Lindell in a variety of ways. And he joins us now from Minneapolis. So in hindsight, you know, now that you've experienced the turbulence of the political world, would you have done anything different?
Absolutely not. I want to secure our election platforms, and I can't unsee what I've seen and unknow what I know. I've been asked that so many times. I would go down to the last thing. If we lose the American dream, if we lose our country, it's all gone anyway. So, Bill, I will fight till the very end, and no matter what happens. And we've got to secure our elections, and that's it. We have to have elections people trust.
But it's costing you personally money to defend yourself against a variety of actions. And then customers, you know, I mean, MyPillow is the same pillow for conservatives and liberals, right? But now some left-wing people are, I don't buy that MyPillow. You see, so you have the downside of being an activist, right?
Well, I think it's not so much the divide of Democrats that don't buy MyPillow or Republicans or conservative or liberals. This has been more of an attack by a cancel culture than anything that has hurt MyPillow. Since August, when I came out with a plan to secure our elections, MyPillow's been attacked more than they were in 2021. There was this cancellation. We've got the box stores and then the shopping channels and then TV networks. This is an all-out attack because they want me to shut up about our election platforms, which I want to get to paper ballots and counted. Is that so bad? So I don't think you have. I talk to people on the streets all the time. Liberals, conservative, Democrat, it doesn't matter. They come up to me. They want, you know, their biggest question is, hey, is our country going to be okay? Are we going to, you know, are the elections going to be secure ever? And like Argentina just had their big election with paper ballots. And I say, absolutely. If it's not, we're that's the original platform there. Everything else, borders and everything else manifests from our elections.
All right, let's clarify your vision here in the election process. Let's clarify that. So you want people to go on election day and vote. That's primarily at their polling place. That's number one, right?
No, number one is paper ballots hand counted. That's number one. It does to get rid of electronic computers in our elections. That's my number one. It always has been.
So you want every voter to have a piece of paper, and they check where they want to check, and then they give the piece of paper to somebody at the polling place.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's done in UK, Venezuela, Germany, Germany, France, UK, Netherlands, Argentina, Taiwan just had a great election.
I got it. For that. All right, so no electronic stuff that may be manipulated, you know, it's possible.
Yep.
People can't get to the polls.
What's that?
People can't get to the polls, or they're out of town, or they're out of the country, or they're ill, or they're elderly. Can they get paper ballots sent to them?
We need to go to I don't know on that, but I do know that the RNC last August put in a resolution, paper ballots, hand counted, same day voting, precinct level, and signature required. That's the gold standard. That's the gold standard of the world.
Mike, you got to address the people who can't get there on the day for whatever reason. You have to address that.
Well, it used to be before the elections. It used to be you go prior to 2020. Yes, there was a way to do that, but you signed up for it, you pre-registered. That's fine, just like handicap.
Okay,
you keep that the same.
So there will be a certain amount of time where you can by mail request a ballot, and then you send the ballot in. That would be okay with you, right? As long as it was a paper ballot.
If you met the requirements, correct. But in 2020, like Michigan, they dumped 7 million registered ballots all over Michigan, which was illegal. The legislatures make the law, not the Secretary of State.
But I have to point out that here's the problem with this, because I'm obviously on the side of the truth. And I didn't buy into the election was a fraud. I didn't buy into it at all. And the reason I didn't buy into it was I didn't have incontrovertible evidence to tell my listeners and viewers that Dominion voting machines did this or Wisconsin did that. What I did do, and this is what should have happened, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. I said, maybe 3 days after the election when there was all this turbulence, because I was taken aback too by some of the states that at midnight had large leads for Donald Trump, and at 5 in the morning, that had evaporated. I went, whoa. I asked President Trump to appoint a special prosecutor through Bill Barr, the Attorney General. I said, you got to do this now while you're a president. You've got to get a special prosecutor up there to look into every charge that the election was fraudulent. Trump and Barr did not do it. And once they did not do it, then skepticism came in to me. Second, in Pennsylvania, which is a very nebulous, dubious state when it comes to elections, the Supreme Court Justice Alito sent a signal on election night. We will hear any challenges to the state vote because Alito is in charge of that area. None were sent to Alito. None.
That's right. Right.
So as a journalist, not an advocate, not an activist, I'm sitting here and I'm watching avenues that could have produced at least some kind of clarity being ignored.
Yep.
And so I never bought in. Where did I go wrong?
Well, it wasn't your fault, Bill. This people were scared back then. Judges scared to look at. Not one judge looked at anything based on merit. Not to this day have they looked at anything based on merit. You had anomalies that you might not have heard about. Maybe you did. Pennsylvania had more votes than voters and turned in their electors. You had 106,000 votes come down in the middle of the night for Biden in Michigan and 2,000 for Trump. But everyone said, oh, those are the mail-in votes, those darn Democrats. That's not true. The mail-in votes in Michigan were counted on the morning of the 3rd. You had it like in a primary. This was in 2022, a Democrat in Georgia, 3 Democrats running. She got 0 votes in her own precinct. You have all these anomalies that nobody would look into, and we did. People did look into them, but it was the media. When lawfare was used in this country,
you're never going to get the media to prop up anything because they were against. But it was
people
never
didn't get the word. People did not get the word.
None of the stuff that you mentioned was ever certified, okay, which means that you file a lawsuit and a complaint. And here is the complaint, and it goes to Judge Henry or whoever. But
yes, there was. Yes, there was. And it's just been, judges have never ruled on merit. I could list off tens or probably 100 cases.
That might be true.
Right.
I don't know if it's true or not, but it might be true because each state controls its own vote. But I'll go back to the fact that if Donald Trump is president and Bill Barr as Attorney General had appointed a special prosecutor to look into allegations that you just put on this program, that would have stopped the madness. But they didn't do it.
No, well, you can say that, but I think Bill Barr actually ordered the investigation in Pennsylvania to stand down.
But Trump could have easily overridden him. Trump had the power.
Well, back then we were living in an anomaly in history. And what I look at now, here's what I look at, Bill. I'm going to tell you this. At MyPillow, 2012, I took in $100 million up from zero when I first invented MyPillow and first did my first commercial. I woke up in May that year and I was $6 million in debt. And I go, what happened? What happened? I dug into it, into all the things that happened and brought it all inside of MyPillow. MyPillow would not be here today if it wasn't for the failures of 2012, where we learned the mistakes that were made, the betrayal, everything else, and 83 million MyPillows later. I look at the 2020 election as the most important election in history because from that, after 3 years of work of all the people that I have over 300,000 people on the ground in all 50 states. We have and we're able to look into all these different things, and you're going to still see them coming out. This is to repair our election platform, not to overturn 2020. This is everything that comes out.
I know you're looking forward, and that's worthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Now listen, you get something solid, Mike. You give it to me.
Okay.
Right away.
Right
okay,
on.
because I don't have any corporate masters here. I run the corporation just like you run it. The only difference between you and me is I got my cross underneath my shirt. Okay? Nobody tells me what to do. You get something solid that you think in 24 there's going to be shenanigans. You know, you see it.
Bill, did you see down in Georgia that that finally, after 3 years, the curling case with Ratzenberger down there, Brad Rasper, one of the biggest blockers this country's ever seen, that judge ruled, Obama-appointed judge this fall, ruled that you can look into these electronic machines and you're not a conspiracy theorist. That went to court on January 9th. Alex Halderman, a professor, hacked into the machine with a ballpoint pen right in front of the judge.
I saw the story. I saw the story. But I'm looking ahead now. So you see anything...
I will bring it to you because we have great things.
You bring it to me right away because you'll get a fair play here. Okay. All right, Mike, thanks very much. And again, we appreciate your business. That's not why you're on, by the way. You're on as a news person here, giving information to the folks. But stay well, stay strong.